This is video 10 in the Church Committee 3 series. Today is January 3rd, 2015, and I wanted to document that today's been a day of nonstop torture. Nonstop torture with frequencies, energy of some type directed into my home. It affects me, it affects my animals, and so I just wanted to document that because it's important. This is not going to be nearly as long as some of the other videos I've made, because I just have a few quick things to say. I can tell I'm being tortured because I can feel it and I can hear it. It's a silent sound type of torture, and I can feel it various places on my body. I rewatched Conspiracy Theory 3 from season 3, episode 7 recently, and a gentleman from Pennsylvania, Harlan Gerard, he told the interviewer, he said, you can't imagine what this is like unless you've experienced it yourself. And so that's why it's really difficult for us that are being subjected to this to get the word out, because the majority of people have no idea that this could be happening. John Kiriakou, CIA whistleblower related to the torture report that the Senate just released, said that we're Americans, we're better than this. And he was talking about the torture that took place in the various prisons around the world in Guantanamo. But I wanted to mention the fact that when I'm being tortured like this, I think one of the reasons that I'm still able to function better than I was when it initially started, those first few weeks, is because there was a chip in one of my toes, and I talked about this in other videos, and I was able to dig that chip out. I did surgery with a needle, and it took several days. There was a lot of scabbing, and I had to dig deep, and it hurt. But I got this little teeny white chip out of my toe, and there had been a huge blister on it when the torture started in April 2010. And I just kept popping the blister and medicating it and putting a Band-Aid on it until I actually left Colorado in June and got back to Ohio, where I had originally been from. And I was able to get the blister popped, and it went down a little bit, and that's when I started digging, because I was trying to figure out why it kept reoccurring after I got the got the liquid out of it, infection. And then I had my big toe started having things going on with it, so I dug into the big toe, which was harder. Not only was it a bigger area to work with when you're doing surgery with a needle, but it also, from the angle, because it was on the side of the toe pointing toward the other toes, not on the outside where I could easily reach it, but I had to, twist my foot around to get to it. And I dug and I dug and I dug, and I finally got something out of there. So I think the removal of those two items from my toes probably made it a little easier to survive with what I've experienced, but that doesn't mean they haven't experimented and changed the various ways they deliver the torture and the frequencies of it, and there's a whole lot of vibration that goes with it. The vibration is related to several things, and I'm not going to go into that right now, but there's been a lot of vibration today as well. This month is Stalking Awareness Month, And since stalking is part of the program that I'm in and a lot of other people around the country, it's an industry of personal destruction. And the torture is part of it for a lot of people. Not everybody gets the electronic torture, but I think the majority of us probably do at this point. Artificial intelligence, transhumanism, and mind control are all in there too. I mentioned that in video 9, but I'm not going to go into that yet today either. So this is Stalking Awareness Month. Stalking, know it, name it, stop it, and along with that, from the kinds of things that a lot of us are experiencing: harassment, bullying, PsyOps, torture. Know them, name them, stop them. If you're one of the people who knows about this stuff but isn't actively participating in it, you're still saying that it's okay. You're doing what they did in Germany when they came for some of the people and took them away, and nobody spoke out because it wasn't their problem. So I appeal to those of you out there who know what's going on. Please, there's a lot of people coming forward and telling what's going on, the secrets, at their own personal risk. I've had things happen to me, but I continue to tell the truth. As John Kiriakou said, we're Americans, we're better than this. I'm editing that to say we're Americans, we should be better than this. I should be safe in my home. I should be free from torture in my home. I should be free of harassment in my home. I should be free of bullying in my home. I should be free of PsyOps type stuff when I'm on the computer and go about my life. So I would say, and as I said, I made this video once and then had to remake it for several reasons. When I've been tortured all day, pretty much nonstop, it's really hard to keep focused on a train of thought as I'm trying to speak and present what I want to say, because what this does is they're trying to break us physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, and even spiritually if they can. So it's hard sometimes, and that's one of the reasons I made the video, because it documents that there are times like today when the nonstop torture is just really challenging to deal with. And you say, well, why don't you leave? Why don't you not stay there? That's part of the program. That's part of the industry of personal destruction, is to have people move from place to place to place so they don't have any stability in their lives. And it's difficult to stay grounded. I have animals, so to just leave and go somewhere else with animals is always challenging. I bought this house, so it's a place that's some that I can do with, have the animals that I want here, and I should be able to be safe here. I hope that people who are hearing this, I hope it's not all people in the who are delivering the program. I hope there's other people. So that's today, January 3rd, 2015.